You need to be using your anger, frustration, and your just complete confusion in life to manifest. You need to be using those heavy emotions to manifest. Despite what a lot of people say and what a lot of people think about maintaining a positive vibration, positive frequency, this and that, I think there's such a lack of a human aspect when it comes to using this technique because it assumes that we can always maintain a consistent mood. And in order to do that, we have to ignore our feelings. We have to ignore the circumstances really hard to the point that we even suppress our own feelings. And if you're a if you're a people pleaser, you're someone who has spent their entire lives compressing their emotions because you were not safe to express your emotions at home. Maybe crying was considered something for weak people. You were ashamed if you cried, or if you showed emotions in general. It could have been happy emotions, that if you shared happy things with your parents and they downplayed or gaslit you, and to the point that you didn't really feel like you could even share positive or negative information with them. Good news about your life, your grades, anything like that. You need to be marking those things because once you get older, those patterns definitely follow you into adult life. For me, it was the idea of people pleasing and repressing my own emotions, being the strong one in the family, looking after everyone, having the feeling that I held such a significant responsibility at a young age made me feel that I was not allowed to express emotions. I was told to stay strong. If I was crying, I was often told to take care of my family, be able to stay strong for them. And that meant that I turned to other ways to express my emotions. I did it through drawing, I did it through even things that were not so kind to myself. And as a teenager, then I wish that I could tell her or say to her at that time that I could have actually worked through those emotions. As an adult, it's your responsibility to teach yourself how to work through emotions. And in fact, I believe that anger and frustration are some of the most powerful emotions when it comes to manifesting. You wouldn't even believe it. I think that the momentum, the power and belief that goes behind such powerful emotions such as those can create a significant amount of change in your life when used correctly. And when I say correctly, I mean you need to be honest with yourself. This is one of the biggest things I think is a misconception about manifestation, is that you have to sacrifice your transparency, your self-trust, your self-respect, and just honesty to yourself by ignoring the circumstances, by pretending that things aren't happening, or pretending that these things don't affect you, or the emotions that you experience with those aren't valid or don't exist, or they're bad feelings and you need to change them. I actually believe that's false. In order to truly manifest, you need to express your emotions. You need to allow yourself to get the negative emotion out of the way and use it as momentum. Because anytime you're feeling frustration, you're feeling upset or unexplained anger towards your situation, it's normally because you feel like there's something that's not in alignment with. It's always your body, your mental health, your mind. It's trying to tell you something and you need to pay attention. If you wake up feeling randomly just like strange, like you wake up feeling upset, you wake up feeling angry, you wake up feeling sad, your body's trying to tell you something. Don't ignore these things. And I've actually tried to document what you can do in order to utilize these emotions because when you feel like you're not in alignment with something, especially through anger, through a situation, you encounter a situation, you're like, I have set my self concept, I've made my self identity, I know who I am, yet I'm still experiencing these bad situations. And it really is a situation of your past self's expectations, standards, and just in general experiences being reflected back onto you. It is a chance to look deeper into yourself to get the opportunity to see what your subconscious is actually running on. So whenever you encounter frustration, let's say, for example, it was for me that I was teaching online, I was teaching English, and I was upset that I wasn't getting any customers, and I used to get a lot of customers. I used to be booked and busy all the time, and now that I needed some extra income, I'm like, okay, I'm expecting that I'm gonna get booked and busy again. And actually, that didn't happen for me. That didn't happen immediately at all. And it took weeks, and I'm just so frustrated because I'm like, I feel like I am valuable. I'm a great teacher. I feel like I'm a great person to learn with. I have been teaching for over 10 years. I know what I'm doing, so why am I not getting the desired result? Well, did I ask myself at some point that maybe the version of myself that I want to create is not this teacher working 10 hours a day? It's not her. The universe is reflecting right back at me what I asked for in the past. And what I asked for in the past was not to work so much. What I asked for in the past was to make a lot of money in only doing 2 to 3 hours of work a day. So it doesn't make sense if I'm creating the expectation of that and then trying to get the result by getting 10 hours of students a day and expecting, I'm not even raising my prices, then why am I not getting that my whole rent paid in a day type of situation? Self-frustration, the opportunity to look back at yourself and to be able to understand and to analyze. One of the gifts that manifestation brings us is the commitment, lifelong commitment to self-improvement, the lifelong commitment to doing a constant analysis of yourself, understanding when a situation happens, instead of just being like, why is this happening to me, and claiming this victim mindset, to empower yourself instead and say, what is this situation trying to teach me? What is it trying to show me that I need to change within my life? And these things are all very true. They're all very accurate when it comes to the feelings that we feel. Like if we feel a certain way, like I really don't think this aligns with me, why is this happening? Well, is there a part of you that still believes you're not worthy of what you really want? Not worthy of being able to have something different? How does your self-worth look? How do you value yourself? If you price your prices, or if you ask for a job where you get paid $50 an hour, how would you truly feel if that opportunity knocked on your doorstep tomorrow and you would get the job the next day? Would you feel imposter syndrome? Would you feel like, I don't deserve this? Oh, how am I going to be able to provide the amount of service to say and justify paying $50 an hour? If that's what you're first thinking, you need to look into that, because it is an insight into what you truly want. Anger, frustration, these all come from the heart. I mean, they usually come from fear. They usually come from very powerful places and situations that make you change. They transform who you are. And something else that I wrote about is, if you really don't know what to manifest, this is for you. If you don't know what to manifest, you want money, but you don't really know how you want to get the money, in the sense that you don't know if you want it to be through a career, if you don't really know if that's what you want. Do you want a career in general? Do you want to just get gifted money randomly? Things like this. How do you want to receive? Because for some people that's important. Not really questioning the how doesn't work for me, because sometimes I need to know what actions I need to put in to my daily structure in order to do my side of manifestation of the law of attraction and put intentional action into my daily routine. I need to know what I'm putting my daily routines, actions towards. Doesn't make sense if I'm just trying every single thing without intention. I want to act with intention, even if that means less actions per day. If you don't know exactly what it is that you want to manifest, what exactly does it bother you about your life right now, and you can't completely pinpoint it at the moment, write what you don't like. Make a list of what you don't like. For example, I don't like sitting at a computer for 10 hours. I hate it. My eyes are freaking blurry. I mean, I feel like I can't see as well anymore as I used to. My eyes hurt, and I'm frustrated because I didn't want that. That's not what I wanted. I wrote that down. I don't like having to depend on others to set my prices. I don't like having to sit for hours on end waiting for customer responses. I know that I don't want these things. These are the things that I don't want, and I'm going to change the script completely. Change your script. Life is planned. It's planned out by you, whether you choose to participate in it or not. In that way, when you have no sense of direction or planned intentional action, you often find that life is just going how it's going. You don't really know what you want to do with your life, and you just continuously manifest more of that. And you often manifest situations that aren't the most positive, because without realizing, you're manifesting more of that, bringing more of that into your life. If you want to bring more of what you actually want, you need to flip the script. Take those things that you dislike and turn them into new affirmations for your self-concept. So for example, if I'm writing here, I don't like sitting for 10 hours on the computer because my freaking eyes hurt. And I hate that. That feeling, that emotion makes me so angry because I'm doing it to myself and I'm the only one who can change it. Ignoring the circumstances does not mean ignoring the frustration, yet let the frustration teach you. I would take this and make an affirmation, and I would write for myself or say for myself, okay, so instead, my script is I'm now this person who only has to work 5 hours a day, and I do take breaks in between those hours, and I use eye drops. So, in fact, my eyes never feel tired, and I don't even work that long every day. That's who I am now. That's part of my self concept. I read my self concept in the morning, every single morning, to remind myself. Oftentimes, I even wake up out of bed, like, when you have a really deep dream and that dream feels so real and you're a different person or you're different, you have a different lifestyle, a different experience, and then you wake up and you're not really sure where you are or who you are. That's the opportunity to open your notebook and be like, oh, yeah, yeah, I'm not that person from yesterday. Today, I am this woman. I'm the woman who only teaches for 5 hours. My eyes don't hurt because I use eye drops. I am this person who doesn't wait for clients to come to me. Clients already want me and they already book my services without needing to consult with me. And I get paid my whole rent in a day. That's what I would write. And I wake up in the morning and read that every single day and I think, oh, I'm so grateful. Feel the feeling because my anger taught me this. That's what I truly wanted. I wasn't in alignment with those things that I had at the current moment. I'm going to use that moment to take my anger and turn it into a script. You have the opportunity at any time to reset. Even in moments during your day, you could say, no, not in my world. Don't even entertain the idea. I have a client that doesn't like me, doesn't want to book my services, might even leave a bad review. Not in my world. I'm not going to worry about them leaving a bad review because that doesn't happen in my world. Not in my world. I refuse to accept it. Clap. And change. It changes. You change the script. Change the script. Flip the script. It's your script. Nobody's going to change it for you. It's yours. I think out of all the things we get upset over because anger, frustration, fear, all of these heavy emotions, they often come from the source of fear, lack of control. But what can you control? You can control how you decide to set your self concept. You decide to write a new script for yourself and act accordingly. Act accordingly. Action is one of the most important parts of manifestation, which is why people can't even believe for themselves that, oh, it just happened naturally. I just ended up waking up one morning and I'm a millionaire. A lot of people can't get themselves to believe that because they didn't take the action or the intentional action plus the subconscious belief, the manifestation, the affirmations. These two go together like perfection. You need both. And I might argue action is more important. Because if you just one day decide that it works for you and you say, okay, I looked at my script already, but you take no intentional action, you can't expect a reaction to come from it. So even taking an intentional action, if you set your script and act accordingly and say, okay, I feel worthy to be paid $50 an hour. What are you going to do? Raise your price gradually. Start to raise your prices. Maybe you won't jump to 50, but you'll jump from 20 to 30. Maybe you jump from 30 to 35. Keep jumping and make intentional action on a daily basis to the point that you feel like you're getting closer. That could even mean in this way, I want to wake up and I'm going to dress for the job that I want. I'm not wearing it now, but earlier I was wearing like a suited top or whatever. That makes me feel like I'm showing up for myself. That is one intentional action. The next thing I do is I don't settle for clients that treat me unprofessionally because it happens. I have clients that because I'm a younger woman, I might not have as much experience as they have, that they treat me as if I'm here. I've had this experience plenty of times. I don't waste emotion on being extremely angry and lashing out at them, but rather what I do is say, I don't accept this. I'm not taking on that client. Even if the money was great, I have self-respect and I value what my time is going towards. If I'm trading my time for money, which I don't want to do, at least if I have to do it for now, as one of my intentional actions, I'm not taking upon that client. Trust me, what the universe will give to you as a result for knowing and sticking to your boundaries and sticking to your script so hard, you convince yourself. I mean, there are people that do that in method acting. Ariana Grande is one of the biggest examples of people that were so immersed in their character that they forgot who they were before. You have the ability to do the same. Brainwashing yourself almost, but in a way that makes your life continuously better. I don't know why I'm like tripping over my words today, like stuttering. I think I'm tired, but my point is to stick to the script. Use your emotions to teach you. Your anger is teaching you something. It's teaching you what you don't want. Take that what you don't want, turn it into what I do have every day, who I am affirmation for your self-concept. When you wake up in the morning, you read that, stick to the script, and you make intentional action that goes along with that script, no matter how insane it is, no matter how crazy it is, no matter how scary it is. Because if you feel like, oh no, I won't have financial security if I only teach 5 hours a day instead of 10. Don't go against your script. You'll get the opposite result of what you want. You want something, yet you're putting the opposite intentional action. You're never going to get what you want then. You'll be surprised manifestation doesn't work for you. Don't be surprised. If you know the formula, write the script and stick to it. As if you're getting rewarded for sticking to the script, because you are. If your affirmations reward you, that is your reward. Stick to it and watch how incredible your life becomes. Because anger, frustration, especially for women, will always be one of the most powerful teaching tools for yourself. It comes from the heart. It truly comes from your heart. Because it comes from such a powerful place, which truly reflects the love for yourself. Because when you're angry about something, about someone disrespecting you, it's because you love and respect yourself. Use that emotion. It's not inherently negative, it's powerful. Use your anger to transform your life. It will give you momentum. I promise you that.